How can you tell if someone has a weak position when discussing some topic?
Let me give you some examples, and you tell me whether the person likely has a strong or weak point.
Okay.
If a person gets very emotional and loud, would you say they have a strong position?
No, not necessarily. Usually when someone responds that way, you wonder why they're being so defensive. Wasn't their point strong enough to present a reasonable discussion without the hate?
What about a person who gets personal, insulting, or rude? Maybe they call you a name.
Well, if someone has to resort to this type of name-calling or insults, they're probably losing the argument. It doesn't make much sense to do that if one is confident in their position. Why would someone do that if they felt their position was strong?
Do you think using profanity or some other extremely offensive language indicates a strong or weak position?
Well, in that case, I would say they must be losing the argument pretty badly. If they had a good point, why would they have to go to that extreme?
How about if a person is talking to you in a patronizing way?
Again, that would tell me that they have very little to stand on.
Okay, what if they get extremely angry or frustrated with you? Strong or weak?
I'd say pretty weak. I've heard that anger and frustration have their root in fear. And thinking about this, I've concluded that it's true. Fear is the opposite of confidence. And when you see all this anger and frustration in these responses, the person's argument is weakened even more.
How about this? If they're struggling with their words or making no point at all?
Usually a person struggling like that will then try to chum the waters to get you off subject, because they know at this point they're probably losing the argument.
How about this? If someone claims that their position or years of experience negate your viewpoint?
If they're such an expert, wouldn't you think they'd be able to make an intelligent point without elevating themselves so highly because of their experience?
What about when somebody threatens, intimidates, or bullies their opponent?
I'd say then they know they're losing the argument big time and they're very insecure.
Interesting. What about when they misrepresent facts and positions?
Well, not being truthful is never good. If you have to resort to a lie, a person loses all credibility. Hopefully, people have enough integrity to know better. The bottom line is to have information at hand from proven sources so the lies will be exposed.
What if your opponent tries to make you look ridiculous?
I think you can tell pretty quickly when people are playing games with you. The one thing that has helped me to consider is the source. You can't control when people choose to be rude and hateful, but I don't concern myself much with that. It's all about respect. When a person disrespects another, it usually means they were not given respect in their own lives. It's usually true that the more you respect the person, the more you will be respected. So I will choose to respect no matter what. Open, respectful communication is a positive thing. Let's stay positive.